Okay, so determination of stereochemistry, determination of configuration or conformation of cyclohexane system, that one we can conduct with the help of proton NMR spectroscopy. So we have seen that J3 value, that means coupling constant value of particular proton in that product. That way it can defines the whether the product is cis or trans. Okay, so here is one example is displaying on screen. That is the oxidation reaction of ketone, sorry, reduction reaction of ketone cyclohexanone to the cyclohexanol. So now from the cyclohexanone, for tertiary butyl cyclohexanone, which is on reduction, it gives maybe trans alcohol or cis alcohol. So how to identify whether we got trans alcohol or cis alcohol? So cis alcohol means both substituents at first and fourth position. Okay, so tertiary butyl group and hydroxyl group above the plane of the ring. Okay, so this is equatorial, this is axial. So both are present above the plane of the paper. Okay, so that way is cis alcohol. And trans alcohol, one tertiary butyl group present above the plane, so equatorial above the plane, and hydroxyl group present. Hydroxyl also equatorial, but that one is present below the plane. Okay, so both groups present, both groups are totally opposite to each other. So this is trans alcohol. Now the question is how to identify whether we got after reduction of the cyclohexanone, how what we got, whether we got trans alcohol or we got cis alcohol. That we will identify with the help of NMR spectroscopy. When there are two or more substituents on the ring, here is a simple example that the reduction of 4 tertiary cyclohexane can be controlled by choice of reagent to give either a cis or a trans alcohol. It is easy to tell them apart as the tertiary butyl group will be always equatorial. So we know that tertiary butyl group, we have to keep that one is always at the equatorial position. That one is at equatorial position. It locks the cyclohexane system. Okay. So for tertiary butyl group at the equatorial position, and it locks the molecule, and the cyclohexanone on reduction gives trans alcohol or cis alcohol. So we will go for, so once we got our product, we have to go for the NMR scanning. Once we got the NMR results in our hand, so with the help of coupling constant value, we can identify whether we got trans alcohol or cis alcohol. So what type of NMR we will get here, we can see now what type of NMR we can see. Okay, so here is the this is the cis alcohol NMR, and this is trans alcohol NMR. Okay, so from the NMR values, from the NMR these things, we can identify whether we got cis alcohol or we got trans alcohol. Okay, so now in case of cis alcohol, what type of NMR we do expect? Okay, so only we have to go for the J3 value of this green hydrogen. Okay, so hydrogen here in this example, in this cis alcohol, in this example hydrogen is present equatorially. So okay, so green hydrogen, and we have to calculate the proton NMR value as well as its a coupling constant. Okay, so this hydrogen, for this hydrogen, it has two neighbor hydrogen atom. Okay, so we do normally J3 coupling value we have to see for this hydrogen, so we have to go for its vicinal hydrogen. So for this carbon atom, it has two axial vicinal hydrogen atoms. Okay, one is present here and one is present here. Okay, and it has two equatorial hydrogen atoms. Okay, with two equatorial vicinal hydrogen atoms. So we know for axial interaction of these vicinal hydrogens. Okay, so if two hydrogens, if they are if they are at 180 degree centigrade, vicinal hydrogens, if they are at 180 degree centigrade, they give highest coupling constant. Okay, highest J3 value. So we will see here now what is the coupling constant of this particular green hydrogen. Okay, so as this green hydrogen is equatorial, so it cannot give the highest coupling constant. So here we can see we got here 2.5 hertz as a J3 coupling constant value. Okay, so the value J3 value of itself of this green hydrogen itself indicates there is a presence of equatorial hydrogen, and that means this NMR proves that if hydrogen is placed as equatorial position, so obviously hydroxyl group present at the axial position. Okay, so that means whatever compound you will get, once you got NMR in your hand, so we can identify with the J3 value, which is 2.5 hertz. It indicates that hydrogen is present equatorially. That means our whatever alcohol product we got, that one is cis alcohol we got. Okay, so now if we will get trans alcohol means hydroxyl group and tertiary butyl group, they are opposite to each other. Okay, hydroxyl group present below the plane, tertiary butyl group present above the plane. Okay, so now here and here hydrogen, now once if they will present this hydroxyl group present below the plane, this tertiary butyl group present above the plane, that means it indicates that hydrogen must be present at axial position. So green hydrogen present at axial position. Now we will get NMR, and after that NMR we will go for the J3 coupling constant value. Okay, so here we can see we got here, we now we have axial hydrogen atom. This hydrogen atom, it has two vicinal hydrogen atoms. Okay, at two different carbon atoms. Okay, so two vicinal hydrogens, two vicinal axial hydrogen atoms this hydrogen have. Okay, green hydrogen. So that's why here J3 value, coupling constant value, must be high. That means 11.1 hertz. So here we got here 11 hertz value, coupling constant value for this hydrogen, which is in green color. Okay, so this indicates that as hydrogen is axial, at coupling constant indicates that hydrogen is axial. So definitely the hydroxyl group present on that particular equatorial. So if we got NMR in this way, so we can identify or we can analyze the formed alcohol after hexanol, whatever alcohol we will get with the 11 hertz J3 coupling constant value, that particular alcohol is trans in nature. So this is the way that with the help of this thing, with the help of J3 value, we can identify what type of alcohol we got after reduction.